G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm David and today we've got this cool little Casuarina on the bench. So this little Casuarina was just a tube stock that I bought from our local land care nursery probably a couple of years ago. And I wanted to try and style it in a literati sort of style. That's a style that I seem to like. I put a few bends in the trunk and then I grabbed one of these branches and bent it down on a nice sharp angle and got that growing down, which I thought was pretty cool. It's probably lost a little bit. Like, it looked really dramatic at first. I don't know if it's lost a little bit of that. And my sort of thinking of what I wanted to do eventually was get another branch to come back this way and maybe just create a little foliage pad in this negative space in here. And then, yeah, I'm not sure whether I continue one of these up and make a pad up here somewhere. Like a normal literati probably only has one trunk all the way up and then has a foliage pad at the top, but I sort of thought maybe it might be cool to get something to go back down this way as well. I don't know. The trouble we're having though, you'll see these branches here. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use, but both of them are really weak looking. And that's mainly because our trees seem to really favour this strong vertical growth. And if you allow this strong vertical growth to go, that's where it sends all its energy, which is a bit of a shame because we sort of need to let that go to build thickness in our trunk and in our branches. So I reckon if I left these and left all this, I reckon these would probably, they'd either just continue to struggle along like that, hardly doing anything, or they may even die. I need to decide if I want to try and promote one of these, probably the furthest out, and I think I will. What I'll do, initially I'll take all the wire off and we'll get in and have a look, but I think I'll take all this foliage off the trunk. You don't really need that. Bring this back down to maybe a branch going back out that way to create a bit more little angular movement in the main trunk. Get rid of all these. Yeah, we'll take some wire off anyway. I'll fast forward through all that and yeah, we'll come back and have a look. Right, so as you can see, the tree is pretty much set in shape. It's really just a matter of deciding where I want the growth to go from now. I sort of hoped I could leave some of this stuff down the bottom, just in an effort to try and thicken the trunk up a bit and maybe get a little bit of taper in it, but I don't know that that's going to happen. So I think, not if I want to do things like this. I mean, these branches will grow. That's how I did this one initially. But when I did that one, I selected the one that I wanted and then I cut everything else off. So it could only grow through that branch, and then just kept trimming everything else off, and it grew quite well. So I have no doubt that if I do a similar thing, cut back all the hard growing stuff, that it'll put some energy into that. But I mean, it does depend on what your final design decision is going to be. I mean, if it was just an out and out literati normally, I don't know, I'd probably cut all that off. Select a branch here that may be growing out this way, cut everything else off and direct the growth up and continue along as much as you want until you get to a point where you're happy with the shape of the trunk. And then maybe even let it go wild for a while. Let it all fatten out a bit to get a bit more size in it. The more I think about it, the more I'd like to just let it run wild. Not so much these ones, but maybe this one. Just cut everything else off. I think this is where we struggle as beginners because we don't know what the effects of our choices are going to be. Like if I prune this in a way that will promote this growth down into here that I want, is it then going to slow the whole tree down to the point that I'm never going to get a trunk that's any thicker? Because if I then allow this to grow to thicken up the trunk, is it then going to kill off this branch that's at a weird angle? I don't know. I still do want to explore this path of a branch back down You know what, that could even be the entire tree. Up, you know, up twisty, sharp angle down here, a few twists in there, sharp angle back down, and a pad of foliage down here somewhere. Or maybe we could grow it in here somewhere and then back out and put a pad of foliage out there, you know. And we could tilt the tree over a little bit, you know, and have the little pad of foliage out here somewhere. Actually, I don't mind that idea, to be honest. So what we might do, we'll go through and clean up the trunk. This is another one of those trees that will just send shoots out all the way back to the base, no problem at all. So if I change my mind at any time, it's no hassle really to get it to reshoot and send a branch in whatever direction it is that I decide I want to go. What to do with this? Actually, the more I think about it, I think I'd like to just promote this one, and we'll build that branch down into here. Decide then if we want a pad of foliage in here, or if maybe we want to bend it back and go back out and put the pad of foliage out there. I actually don't mind that idea if it'll come down into here and then go back out. That would be a pretty cool, yeah, that would be a pretty cool tree. So this is going to look drastic, but the only way I can get it to make this healthy is going to be to get rid of, I don't have to get rid of all of it, but if that's the way I'm going to go, which I think I will, I'm going to get rid of it all. I mean, this really does look drastic, but I do know how well this thing grows and how well it backbuds. So even if something was to come along and knock that shoot off, I know that it will shoot all the way along here again, come back in a month's time, and this whole thing will be just all bushed up and green. Now, do we want to do anything with wiring? This is a little long, and I mean, it's not straight, but it's not super interesting. Don't want to bring that down too far. If I bring that down too far, it reduces the amount of room that I have to bring this branch in and back out again. I mean, we could even eventually maybe pot it up on some ridiculous angle like that into a pot, have it growing out the side, and then it would have, yeah, that probably wouldn't look too bad. Yeah, there are options, but I think for now we'll just leave that at that. And if I just keep pulling off all the new buds, it will put all its energy into pushing this out, or maybe this one here. And once they get a little bit thicker, a little bit stronger, I can wire them into the shape that I want, put a few curves and stuff in them down there. And I may even wrap that with raffia and give that a bit of curry too, but we'll see. But for now, we're going to leave that, another butchered tree. Yeah, this little Casuarina is one I'm looking forward to seeing how it pans out. Give it another year or two and I think it'll actually start to look pretty good. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.